going to be the
Season
first time that
7
we're bringing the
PTR.
seasonal realm
Okay.
to a PTR. So what does this mean? We've got a lot of seasonal content coming up in Season
Show
7.
me the season
And we
content,
want to be
man.
able to get all of your feedback on this content.
Okay,
It's
so what's
pretty
coming?
important for us to, like Adam was
Season
saying,
is called
really have those iteration
seasonal
cycles where y'all are
borrowed
able to
power
test and,
returns.
show it's
Witchcraft.
working. What is it?
Ooh, okay.
This is also going to be the first time since Season 2 that we're bringing back seasonal character powers. So if you remember in Season 2, Season of Blood, they were vampire powers, and
I'm
you slaughtered
hyped,
them
man.
into your
Yes,
sanguine circle.
that was the best
And
season,
so
100%.
for Season 7, gonna be a little bit different. Not vampires this time. This time it's going to be witchcraft. And so I'm excited to really dig into that right now and tease out what y'all can play in a couple weeks. So witchcraft enables you as a practitioner to call upon the power of the swamp to do your bidding.
Okay.
And so you've met
Restless
some witches
Rot.
before in the game, and you're going to meet some more in
Aren't
the
those
coming season.
malignant monsters?
But before I really dive
Kinda
into
looks like that.
witchcraft, we got to talk about your enemies.
Okay.
Now, your enemies of this season are going to be called the Head Rotten. Now, the Head Rotten are abominations that spawned from the Tree of Whispers.
Okay.
And you're going to slay them and collect what we call Restless Rot. And this is going to be our currency for the season. Now, like I said, the season is about witchcraft, so there are going to be some witches. And those witches are going to be residing around the Tree of Whispers, and they're going to have some altars.
All right, show us the
And these
gameplay,
altars
though.
are pretty important to you learning your witchcraft. And so you're going to travel to an altar. You're going to make an offering of Restless Rot, and that's going to enable you to learn the witchcraft. Now, equipping witchcraft is going to be pretty simple. We wanted to
It's like the season
take what
is the
was
blood power
best
all over again.
from a lot of
But
these
that's good.
styles
That's a good
of
thing.
menus that we've done in the past and distill it into something that's very convenient and easy to use. And the result is this witchcraft menu that you can see in front of you. And so equipping is going to be super simple. You've got an inventory on the bottom, and then you're going to drag or otherwise move that power to one of the slots up
And then
top.
you rank it up. Like I said,
You're
it's
gonna have
literally
5 normal slots, 5
and they
normal powers
upgrade
you can equip
just
at any
like it.
point, and 1 unique power for really special witchcraft that you can
Oh, so you
find.
get like one of the big
The other
ultimate
thing
one?
is that
All right.
you can
Oops.
upgrade your witchcraft directly in that inventory using Restless Rot. So again, we're streamlining the process to make it easy for
Please
players
make it
to
account bound, though. I
equip
hate how every
and
single character
upgrade
has
their
to
witchcraft.
re-level it up. That's actually annoying.
Now,
So
obviously, it wouldn't be a season without some rewards, and so let's talk about those a little bit. This
looks
season,
kind of the
we're
same,
going to have
but
another reputation-style gameplay in the form of Coven's Favor. Now, killing Head Rotten will get you Headless Rot, or killing Head Rotten will get you Restless Rot. But in order to advance the Coven's Favor, you actually need to complete Whispers. And completing those
so it's gonna be
Whispers
season of
will
Do Whispers.
increase your rank and allow you to unlock rewards, including items and materials and things like that. In addition, new to this season, you're going to also unlock at certain ranks new witchcraft. And then you will have new things you can learn from those altars. And then, because everyone loves it, we're bringing back the Resplendent Spark as well. So
Okay, that's good.
going to
I
be
don't know
at
why
the
they even
end
removed it in the first
of
place, to be
your
honest. I would rather level
Coven's
up 5
Favor.
characters and go
And
farm
of course, the
Doriel again.
Resplendent
I hate
Spark
that, man.
nowadays can be used from crafting, a random mythic unique to actually targeting uniques using a lot of those
But you need a rune,
runes
though,
that you can earn in the
which
game.
are very, very rare, man.
All right, one last little thing with respect to witchcraft. So we wanted to try out something a little bit different. And so we've also created several powers that are lost to these witches.
Discover
that
forgotten
the swamp.
altars.
And so
I never
those
really
you
liked
can
finding the
only find
Lilith
by
altars.
traveling out in the world and discovering forgotten altars.
Don't worry, guys.
Forgotten
I'll upload the
altars
video.
will
You get them
allow
all
you
in
to
5
learn these
minutes.
lost
I'll show you
powers.
guys exactly where
And,
it comes out.
yeah,
I
thought
I
we'd
never
try
really
something
felt
a
like
little
those
bit
were really
different here.
interesting.
And,
Maybe back in the
kinda let
day,
us know what you think about it.
before
Now,
the internet, but
let's
nowadays people
talk
are just gonna
about
look
some
it
of the
up, right?
witchcraft itself.
It's like the Lilith
We've
altars.
talked it up a bit. We're going to release, it's over 20 powers.
Okay,
for
20
the season,
powers.
and we're going to show you 4 of those right
Yeah,
now.
okay,
So let's
gameplay.
talk about the first one. This one is
Let's
really
go.
popular.
Oh
This
wait,
is the
poison.
poison frog. So the poison frog, as you imagine, is
Isn't
a
that from like
servant that you can
D3?
summon that fights alongside you.
Is he a oh, he is a
As
summon.
its name
Dude,
implies, it
we're
will
gonna make a
poison your
summon
enemies,
rogue, man.
and if it runs
I
out of
want to do it.
health, it's going to explode viciously with a lot of poison damage. Folks are having a lot of fun with this one.
Season 7 looking
Next
good,
up,
man.
next up is Doom Orb. So
Okay.
Doom Orb is a pure orb of eldritch energy that circles around you and damages any enemy it touches. And it can also launch itself at distant enemies before returning. Also another favorite at this point. Vengeful Servant. So Vengeful
Wait,
Servant,
what is
as the
Psych?
name implies, is another servant like the frog. And this one will absorb damage and then rush enemies. And then last but not least, we've got one of those lost witchcraft powers I was telling you about. And this is Piranado.
Dude, I wonder what these
So
are all like Witch Doctor
this
stuff. I
one
wonder if they
procs
planned Witch
when
Doctor
you
and then just got rid of it.
cast other
And they're just like, let's
powers.
just use the
And
skills.
so if you cast a hex and an
It's
aura at the
basically Witch
same
Doctor. We have the
time and
poison
inflict it
frogs, we got
upon
the Piranado.
an enemy, there's a chance that you will then proc the Piranado. And the Piranado, as you can see, sucks everything into it in a swirling dervish of
So
fish
far, it's
fins.
looking finally good, man. Finally, we get a good
So,
season, man.
yeah, that's a peek at some of the witchcraft powers you're going to be able to play with soon. But what
Okay.
good are powers if we aren't offering you some new
Dude, season
activities within
7.
the
Okay,
season to
please add a
participate in?
new endgame, man. I've
And
been
so these come in
really
the
saying they need
form of
endgame.
headhunts. Now, headhunts are
So what is this? Whispers have infested the
a
tree. Okay.
whisper-driven activity. And so the tree is searching for these head rotten. The tree wants you to eliminate these head rotten. And so it's going to help you by highlighting areas within the world where it thinks there's a lot of head rotten for you to kill. So you're going to follow the whispers in order to, find the head hunts and kill the head rotten. Now, these are subzone takeovers, similar to
Dude,
Hell
this is
Tides.
just like season 2 repeat.
Um,
Like instead of it
they are
being
going to
like
feature a
Hell Tides
number
or
of
whatever, it's
all
like,
new
oh, it's
whispers
green
mixed in with some
vampiric.
existing
Right.
ones. This was an
But it was the
opportunity
best
for
season,
our
so
team to
I
try out
can't
some
be
new
mad.
whispers and really kind of tell a little bit of a story each time you're going out on a headhunt, because whispers offer us that opportunity.
Because the problem is the pit is
Now,
still so good for
completing whispers
XP that
has a chance of
why would you do
spawning a head
anything
rotten
else?
boss. And the head rotten bosses are the things you're really going to be looking out for, because those are going to give you some additional rewards I'm going to tell you about. Delivering a head rotten boss's head to the Tree of Whispers enables you to earn occult gems. Let's talk about occult gems. Now, we're pretty excited about these. Occult gems are special socketables that have unique effects that help you fine-tune your build. So they can only be slotted in the jewelry slot.
So we get 3.
And so this is a way of basically having them coexist with runes.
Yeah,
And
okay, that's good.
they only last for the season. So when your items
I
transfer to
hate
the
that though.
eternal
Like
realm at
when
the
they
end of
just
the season, these
disappear.
are going to
I
disappear.
really hate that, to be honest.
But in the meantime, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with them. Let's dive into them a little bit. So each occult gem has built-in defense.
Okay,
We
cool.
don't
So you don't
want you to
lose
have
on
to make a
it. Yeah.
choice between,
But it
a
gives you
royal
less
diamond
armor?
or a royal skull and an occult gem. So all of these occult gems have defense built into them, so that really you're getting a bonus above and beyond those gems that I just described. And so here are some examples of them. First up, we've got the Elder
They're all just
Sigil.
increased numbers,
This
so
is going to boost your damage whenever you hex enemies. So if you're leaning into certain types of hexes you like using, Elder Sigil may be a good fit for you. Killing Wind. This is going to boost your crit and move for folks who really dig, specking out with Eldritch powers. So if you equip 3 or more Eldritch powers, then slotting a Killing Wind into, say, one of your rings might benefit you quite a bit.
I'm guessing you
And
can't
then
have
finally,
multiple of
we've
the
got
same.
Duststone. This is a legendary one, so it's going to be even more powerful than the other 2 I talked about. This is going to boost when you use Hex and Aura and afflict other enemies with those. So each time you do that, not only do you have a chance to proc that Piranado I talked about before, but you're going to increase the damage that you output per affliction. So you can kind of get a sense that the occult gems are providing you even more incentives for, creating a certain type of build. And, we are just really excited to see what kind of combinations y'all come up with. I think, yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So, final thing
Okay.
is, we were doing a lot with the Tree of Whispers. We've got the witches around them.
Ancestral
You know,
casters. Okay.
so we thought, well, we should, take some of the quality of life feedback we've heard from players and try and address it. So the first thing we've done is we've updated the town around the Tree of Whispers. We added some more services to it because we expect you to be returning
Okay,
to it a
that's
lot
good.
more this season.
Nice little quality of life.
And we've changed the layout a little bit to make it a little more convenient to navigate and move the waypoint so that it's just quicker to get to the Tree of Whispers to turn in things. But sometimes, you're in the middle of a headhunt we found, and you're getting a lot of grim favor, but you don't want to leave. You want to try and go fight the boss that you just summoned,
We
right?
get like 2 turn-ins or
So
something.
we've also implemented what we call the Raven of the Tree. And the Raven of the Tree appears in every headhunt zone, and that allows you to turn in your grim favor on the spot.
Oh, that's really
so
nice.
that you don't have to go back to the tree town. Now, you're not going to have access to all those other services, so
Okay, you can't like salvage and stuff.
You probably
Yeah.
want to go back to town. But in the
I think
moment,
that's okay.
when you're in a flow, you can go to the Raven of the Tree, get your cash, and then keep fighting. And then finally, we felt like we wanted to expand the rewards a little bit more for the Tree of Whispers. So we've added ancestral caches. It's a pretty low probability of getting one, but they're there. And these guarantee you getting an ancestral item from a cache.
Oh, and
so obviously
ancestral.
You see this pop up.
Not all ancestral.
I have a feeling you're probably going to select it. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about.
Okay.
For the
genuinely really,
PTR.
really good so
I'll
far.
Kick it back over to you, Adam.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. Talking about a ton of new stuff coming for patch 2.1 PTR and of course season 7.
December 3rd, by the way, guys. That's when it comes out. Season 7 for the PTR only.
In chat are, especially with the Raven not having to go back to the Tree of Whispers every single time, being able to turn in grim
I'm
favors
curious, is
right
the chat still
through the
broken?
Raven.
It's still disabled,
On top of
man.
that, also just the rework of the zone. So
I don't know.
A bit closer. You're going to have to walk all the way across to walk all the way back to the waypoint or to get to the vendors and everything. So there's a lot of big changes with that. And actually, please do choose the ancestral cache.
Yes,
like,
so powerful.
why would you not? Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember we added the ability to favorite waypoints as part of season 6 or the last patch that we did. So it's super helpful with that Witch Town.
Yeah, most definitely. And of course, we've people have been seeing some of the new witchcraft powers and noticing some familiarities of like past Diablo lore. And I will say we'll be talking more about the story of season 7 as we get closer to launch, so players can hear more about kind of like the origins of all of like what we've been kind of talking about.
But yeah, so far the gameplay they showed off looks pretty cool.
So thank you again, Dan, for walking us
but
through
I
all the content.
kind of want to know, is this going to be end game? We got a new pinnacle boss.
We do want to talk
is there
about
more?
Some
Okay.
big quality of life changes.
All right.
One really, really big one that we're really excited to talk about. And Mr. Colin Feiner will talk and walk us through everything.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So most of these are sort of systemic updates, so I'll talk through them. Paragon migration is more just a reminder on how the new Paragon system works. All of the Paragon experience that you've earned in a season is actually at the end of season 6 going to be added to your Eternal Realm Paragon. So what that means is, if you're Paragon level 230 on a season, all of that 230 worth of experience is going to get added to your Eternal, which probably is going to level up your Eternal Paragon. And I mention this because we added the really cool Soul Stone. I kept calling it the Vessel of Hatred Crystal, but it's the Soul Stone. That really cool Soul Stone that you get at Paragon level 300, you can actually earn that on Eternal. So if you're not willing to sort of put in hundreds of hours to get that in a season, you can work your way there on the Eternal Realm as you sort of cash in these seasons. So we think that's going to feel.
So ancestral items drop the top end of the aspect rolls, guys. That's what I wanted to see. The baseline drop rate also got increased. So that's pretty big, man.
So that's actually, it's not like I have to have it in this season or something like that. You probably end up getting it in a couple seasons if you play pretty extensively and you level up your Paragon.
Yeah, definitely. The second one here is now we are essentially tying the unique power. So if you think about like the Fists of Fate, that random damage roll from 1 to 200. That's going to be
that
tied,
also
the
rolls?
floor is going to be tied to the amount of greater affixes that are on that item. So if you have one greater
Oh, so if you have a
affix,
quad,
the
is
floor
it
gonna go up
perfect?
a little bit from the 1%. When you get 4 greater affixes, it's going to go up quite a bit. It's not exactly perfect because we wanted to maintain the sort of specialness of a 4GA with a perfect unique roll. We've seen some of those on Reddit, and I think it's always such a cool moment to sort of see
Yeah,
those
good
drop.
luck,
But
man.
it's going to be
They're
a
all going to be
substantial
duped.
increase to the power of the floor. So it's
Where's
gonna be,
where's the mention of the
nearly
dupes though? We
impossible
got to
get a
see
4GA
that.
with a really crappy unique power.
Okay, that was good. I saw that
It's
post
always
also.
great getting a 4GA and then like
And then rolling it.
1%.
Yeah.
That always just feels bad. You never want to be comparing like, oh, I got a 4GA. Well, my 1GA1 is maybe better because it has a better unique roll. That wasn't a moment we felt was really enticing, so we wanted to make sure that the more GAs you get, just the better the item is, comprehensively, just better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on,
So
auction
that's
house,
quite a bit.
auction house, and armory.
And
The
then,
two big
I wanna
things,
talk about
and maybe
one
PvP
thing
too.
Previously on that, which is
Hold on.
ancestral legendaries. They are now going to, when an ancestral item drops, it's going to drop the top end of the legendary aspect roll. So if you think in season 6 we added 5 more ranks to compensate ancestral being added. Rank 21 is usually where they end up landing. Now ancestral items, when they drop, they're going to be at the top end of that. So you should always be pretty excited when an ancestral drops because it's always the best sort of top end ranks of that legendary power that could drop.
Yeah, we saw lots of conspiracy theories on Reddit of people going like, hey, I think like my Codex of Power is not getting updated correctly or something like that. And we totally understand. Like there was a lot of confusion behind it. We had that on our end. And this just makes it easier and better for players in being able to grab it. It's not Colin behind the scenes on a computer like it was. It actually was. He was literally just like making sure you got the lowest aspect or anything like that. But,
Harder.
So that most definitely will address a lot of the confusion there as well.
Dude, but the season 7 stuff actually looks really good. But I still want some other things to do at the end.
We've pretty substantially increased the ancestral drop rate across the board. They're not going to be raining from the sky.
I think we're going rogue, guys. We're not actually rolling Spiritborn.
We think it's just going to level up all the different activities in the game, and that should just feel a lot better. We don't want to go too far where they're no longer special, but we thought that we were a little bit.
So we're going rogue. We're running Shadow Clone
all
Rogue
torment
Jitsu.
tiers, right? Not just tier Torment 4.
Yep, exactly. So all torment tiers are going to get this increase.
Great.
Cool. Okay, is that going to wrap
And
things
then
up?
the next one.
Oh, someone else?
So we saw that gems were dropping a little too frequently, constantly.
Nerf on
getting stuck
gems
the
or
ground,
what?
Players were capped on them. So we are doing a pass to reduce them overall. But to compensate, we're actually adding a sync for them. So you're going to be able to take gem fragments and craft random legendary amulets and random legendary
Okay, that's
rings.
good.
Those all
That's
obviously add
genuinely
chance
pretty
to the
good.
Ancestral. Once you get into the torment, so it's a really nice way.
Oh,
for
once you
us
get into
to sort
torment,
of,
so save them.
make
Don't
sure that
even-
You're never hitting a
don't-
point where you just have so many gem fragments. They're worthless, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
And then the next one I think is going to be I'm super excited about, and that's
Oh, you don't have to do the
quest updates.
You don't have to do the
They're
class
going
quest?
To work similar to Altars of Lilith, right? Do you have more details on that?
Yeah. So class quests. So most classes or every class has this, special mechanics.
Druids
so, like,
really sucked,
on
man.
Sorceress, you got your
The rest
enchantment
weren't too
slots.
bad.
And in the past, when you hit level 15, you'd get a quest where you had to go and
Yeah,
help out a mage.
That's
to
fine.
Find a lost
It's like a
tome.
5-minute thing.
So for players who have
Except for
already
Druid.
completed that, you're
Druid
going
sucked.
to, if you do need to log into that character first to kind of unlock it across your account. But once you've done that, any subsequent sorceress that you make, once you hit level 15, you're going to immediately unlock that first enchantment slot. And then once you hit level 30, you'll unlock the second one. Now, for every class, the exact level is going to be different. It depends on when that would normally unlock, but you won't have to go through the whole quest line to do so. But for those of you who really enjoyed doing those quests, there will be a pretty juicy reward if you do choose to do it.
Oh.
But you're going to get that mechanic right off the bat.
The juicy reward. Okay,
You could
I'll
still just
let you
log
guys
into
know
your
what it
seasonal
is.
Character and do it to unlock the class
course.
mechanic. We don't require you to log into your eternal character to get those. Cool. So I think that's going to be awesome. I always like.
Okay. Oh,
the time.
the Armory
level 40,
voice.
I should
It is
probably
here.
do my
Wait.
class
Oh,
quest.
I have
wait.
definitely forgotten to unlock my golem on my necromancers for a little longer than I would like to admit.
Okay. We got the Armory though.
Production spoiled it.
The Armory's here, boys. We saw it.
The next update is
Finally, and
obviously
we
a big
just
one,
need
which is
the auction
finally,
house.
We don't have to say this is
Diablo
in
4 good
development.
again?
Armory is coming with
Season
season 7
7.
patch 2.1. So, Colin, want to go through it?
Finally,
Absolutely,
dude.
yeah, this
Finally.
one was a really niche request. We had to dive super deep into the forum. So that one guy who asked for this is for you. I'm just kidding. This has been a super hot requested feature. We're excited to bring it to everybody. So,
Wait, it doesn't even cost
everybody's gonna
gold.
get this
That's
update.
good.
Armory is going to allow you to save builds. It's going to save all your equipment, all of your skills, all of your Paragon, all your Paragon.
Finally,
glyphs.
dude.
You can even name it. And what this really allows you to do is be a lot more flexible in the end game, right? So if you're really liking your Fireball build, but you got this really sweet Ball Lightning unique, now it's really easy to just save off that Fireball build if you ever want to come back to it, and you can start building out.
I'm wondering if it's going to also change aspects, because like, what if we want to use the same
we're not going to charge
item,
you for
right?
respecing or anything like that. So you
That's
save
cool.
it, it's
Yeah,
yours.
the gold
It's
doesn't
even
matter
come
anyways.
with,
Let's
some
be
cool
honest.
quality of life things where we actually mark all of the equipment that's actually part of an Armory slot. And that's really important to know because we're just saving the equipment, right?
Yeah.
So you'll want to know if you're going to modify this item that it would affect any of the loadouts that are currently using this item.
Yeah, if you take a legendary and say change the imprinted aspect on it, you know it's still part of that build, so it might not be the right one.
Yep.
So you do probably want to get multiple sets of gear if you want to be building this up, but it's so much easier to swap between them.
It's so much
easier
better,
to
dude.
explore all of the new build possibilities that we introduce.
Yeah,
every
dude, we got to
season,
run
the
that.
new items and
The Ball
updates.
Lightning. And the Ball
Absolutely.
Lightning actually looks like it's
And
the
it's
same
in all the
gameplay,
main
though.
towns. It's even in the training rooms, which is very nice.
But like, I want to see some new
And
end
it's
game.
important to note that we will
announcements.
swap it from anywhere. So if the equipment,
Because the
is
other
in
stuff's
your
probably
stash,
open
or if
world,
it's in your
and most of the stuff
inventory,
you're gonna be
you don't
one
have to
shot and
worry about it.
everything,
We'll just
right?
Swap it out for you.
Yeah, it'll just it's automatically does it, which is really nice.
Absolutely.
It makes it as easy as possible for players to be able to really utilize the feature, which I think is great.
Cool. So yeah, we're super excited. We're really leaning.
Still
into the
really good, though,
flexibility. That's
like-
why we've just removed a lot of the
The
costs
two things,
to
though,
switch
we still
around,
need-
and
we need
we think
PvP,
this should open up. If you're
and-
playing a druid, you don't have to go make another druid or go through 300 clicks to change out your paragon. So
And an auction
Yeah,
house,
I
and
think
then
one
we're
thing
set.
I do want to note.
But the dupes.
This will be in PTR. We really need people to actually test
Yep.
it. It's a brand new feature. There's a lot of complexities behind it. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's pulling things
yeah,
from
dude, it's
chat,
totally
going
fine if it's
from
buggy
the
in
reports,
PTR.
etc.
Like, no
So
problem, man.
Want to make sure that players actually do get an opportunity to actually test it during PTR. Give us feedback. It's something that we're going to continuously iterate. One thing I do want to call out is in PTR, it won't have controller support. It will have controller support when we do launch it with patch 2.1.
That's really
final
weird.
patch itself.
Why does it
But
break
for the
controller?
PTR, it won't actually be.
Dude, I wanna get a
there won't be
fight stick
controller
and play
support on it,
with
so
the-
I just
with this
wanna
game.
Caveat that now for players that are actually that do play on controller to note that it won't be there for that specifically. So
Okay, that's fine,
tons
but-
of changes coming for season 7.
I'm liking it, guys.
Obviously, all the class
What do you
changes,
think
the
of it?
ultimate changes that Charles talked about.
But I'm hoping we can
the
do more
balance
in
and
endgame. Maybe
items related to
Paragons
that.
could be a little
New
bit adjusted.
Runewords,
Not so long of a
reworked
grind.
Runewords as well. We have, of course, all the season 7 stuff that Dan talked about with the witchcraft powers, and of course our new gems, the occult gems. So we want players to actually jump in and try those out.
I'm so
and
glad
with
they
all
took-
the
I wanna
quality of
say
life fixes that we do have.
my
So,
feedback, 'cause I've been
I know we
complaining
do wanna
about
jump into
seasonal
Q&A
powers.
before
Okay.
we
All right. You know,
PTR updates.
There's no chat? How are we supposed to do Q&A?
I can't even follow my own agenda that's like sitting here on
I don't know, man. All right. Well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If there's any really good questions, I'm going to go ahead and add it in like the description of the comments, or if it's good enough, I'll make a separate video. But honestly, let me know, guys, what you think of season 7. I want to say overall, I want to say it's a double thumbs up for like the seasonal idea. Would really like to see the seasonal theme be able to be like end game, like where we can do some sort of new activity. While we do have a new activity, a lot of times when it's like, oh, it's a hell tide, but it's a different color. Like we had like the green one during the vampire one. But like I've been telling them constantly again, I love season 2. Can we get a season 2 again? So like, yo, Blizzard, shout outs to you guys. I appreciate you watching the Diablo partner videos because that was my favorite season. And even if they copied it, I said it would be something exciting for the players. And we have newer powers. It's almost like they had like I said before, it's like a witch doctor class, and they just kind of like took it apart and just made it some skills. Who knows? Maybe witch doctor will be the next class, and they're just like, well, we got these skills. Let's just let people play around with them. So I think it's cool. But overall, I'm very excited about it. I'm really looking forward to Diablo 4 because it's going in a much positive direction. You guys know I've been completely honest. When there's not good things with Diablo, I'll let you guys know. And right now, I'm pretty happy with it. But I'm really not a fan of the mythic farming. So hopefully we'll get some updates to that as we get one of the sparks from the rewards. And I'll probably level up every single class as long as I'm enjoying it enough. And I think that so far, what they revealed is pretty exciting. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, whatever, subscribe. If you guys haven't seen part 1 of the update, I'll also link that down below. But yeah, season 7 is looking pretty dang good. What do you guys think?